Sen Dog from Cypress Hill, Soul Assassins.
There you go, back in Holland again. You played Amsterdam in the Melkweg. You raised the roof, man.
Yeah, we had fun there that night. It was a really energetic crowd. They were ready to see Cypress, so we had a good time.
Yeah, it kicked ass, man. When I got the record, when I heard rumors about the record that it's going to be like half hip hop, half rock, I was like, who came up with the idea, and how on earth do you dare to do that?
Well, we had stood almost all of '99 in the studio recording, and we done a Spanish album, and then we done the whole English rap record, and we're sitting around like the record got pushed back. It was supposed to come out last Halloween, October 31st, and it didn't happen. So we just started thinking what to do next. We had turned down a tour, so we just started calling in our friends to see who wanted to, do some songs with us. So we called up Brad Wilk from Rage Against the Machine, and then we called Dino and Christian from Fear Factory. A couple of guys from my band SX10 came out. We just had a good time. You know what I mean? And then we just started making songs. We did like maybe 13 or 14 songs, and we used like 6 or 7 of them. So there's a lot more left over in the vault somewhere if we ever needed to use it.
It's nothing new for you guys, right? I mean, even before the Judgment Night thing, you guys were experimenting with rock, right?
Yeah. I had done a song with Biohazard, and we had been out there doing some shows with a bunch of different people, getting exposed to the rock and roll scene, the whole audience and everything, and we liked it. They liked us, so we thought it'd be a good thing to do. We done it in '93 with the Judgment Night thing. And it was a little bit early for that. I mean, it was something cool to listen to, but I don't know if the world was yet ready for a full-time rock rap band, you know what I mean?
But now, I mean, if you talk to people, everybody refers to that album for being like groundbreaking and being like amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely, because you had some of the guys that are doing it now still, like Everlast and Cypress Hill, of course, you know what I mean? We were doing that back then, and who would have known that, 7 years later or something, that particular genre would blow up. So it feels good to have been part of that.
Breaking new ground, like you guys always do, right?
That's what they say, man.
Hey, was your record company actually ready to issue this? I mean, didn't they go like, what the fuck is this?
Well, they were waiting for us to do something different, you know what I mean? Yeah. We give them rap records all the time and everything, and I don't know if the excitement was there, from the record company just to do another rap record. I think they wanted us to do something bigger this time. So when they heard all the material, they were like, yeah, let's do a double disc thing, you know what I mean? And we were like, yeah, they want to do a double disc and all that good stuff. So it was a good thing for us that the record company liked what we were doing, It had been a while since we had 100% of the record company pushed behind us,
Hey, your single Rap or Rock Superstar is a blast, man.
Thank you very much. I like that song a lot too. It embodies a lot of different things. It embodies hip hop, it embodies rock, and then the lyrics are, more or less like, what to look out for if you're trying to get into this business. It's not all easy.
How did your record company react? Because I mean, you even mentioned Sony in your song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they liked it. They liked it. The president, Donnie Einer, liked it. I mean, everybody liked it. Time I told everybody. And, they know that, we've been around now for a while and we know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? And I guess that line right there, so the record gets pushed by Sony, that line right there, and, I guess woke them up some. You know what I mean? And they started, like, really pushing for Cypress again, like they did, 91, 93, back in those days.
You guys this is your 5th album. Well, if you count them all, you have like 6, 7 albums out, right?
Yeah, we got 5 Cypress records, and then the Spanish album, and then also the revamped and remixed record.
That's actually a lot for a hip hop crew, right? Because I mean, most hip hop crews, well, they bail out after 3 albums.
Yeah, but with us, there's been that longevity thing. We've been able to stick around for a while. And doing this particular band right here, I don't know how much longer Cypress will go on, but just to put in those 10 years is pretty good.
It's a long time, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. The band got signed in I think 1989 or 90, and our first record came out in early '91. So it has been a good run for us.
I still think this one. I mean, I bought this a long time ago. It's still one of my favorites ever.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one there because we had a lot of time to work on that one. We started doing that album before we had a record deal. We were doing demos for it and everything. So when you get a chance like that to just stay and record for like 2 years, you really master what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And then sometimes, you know, with some groups like us, perhaps, it's hard to recapture that magic again because you're not gonna be at home no more. You're not gonna be, you know, doing what makes you comfortable. You're gonna be out on the road. You're gonna be, you know, doing shows. You're gonna be traveling here and there. So it's hard to get that again. So that's why last year, '99, we decided just fuck it, stay home and record all year long, you know, and try to come up with some really good work again.
That's a very good idea. Most of the time you see like bands popping up, they have a really good record because they worked, well, 4 or 5 years on it. Then they have to produce the next one, the second one, and it's just not as good as the first one.
Not because they don't have the time. They don't have the time to put into it. And after, you know, after some people taste success, people change, you know what I mean? And
how did it go for you guys?
Huh?
How did that go for you guys? Well, you had huge success with this one, the first one.
Yeah. Well, that one took a while to sell, but once it started selling, it just started moving and moving and moving, and for the whole process of it, you know, when the record blew up and it sold over 1 million copies, it's at 2 million now. We really, really, really were surprised. We weren't expecting to sell that many records. We thought we'd sell 200,000 or 300,000 copies, you know, to the hardcore hip hop heads, you know what I mean? We didn't think girls would like it either, and girls ended up loving Cypress Hill. So, you know, it was quite a blast for us. And then we got off of a tour somewhere and got home and started to stretch out and unwind. And here comes the phone calls from the record company. We want the new record. We want the new record. So we went in and we kind of did like a hurry job on Black Sunday, but it still had like 3 records on it. And say in the brain when the shit goes down and ain't going out like that.
Those were hurry jobs?
Yeah. Yeah, if we could have had more time on that album, it'd have been even better. You know what I mean? But it done well. It done 3 million copies. You know what I mean? And it was able to lift us to a national level. We started doing our own tours off of Behind the Black Sunday. We were the headlining band. So that was a special time for us, yeah.
So then you sell like 5 million records, and then the money comes in, and what happens then?
And then you
go crazy?
Yeah, you lose focus a little bit, you know what I mean? You lose focus. You start, you know, you start looking for a house. You start buying a house, and before you know, you got 3 or 4 cars and a bunch of friends that you didn't have before and shit like that. So it definitely changes you, you know what I mean? You got to go through that in order to come out the other end and be like, okay, well, I made all this money and I lost it all. Now I got another chance to make some more money. I'm gonna be more mature about it this time, and you know, you just take it like that.
Aren't you proud of what you did? I mean, because your records are really, especially the first one, is groundbreaking. I got it just after NWA split up. I was like, well, this is all right. There's this big band came up, it's a new band, new sound. Well, what the fuck? We'll be in trouble for a couple of months now. No new band will come up because I mean that's so extraordinary. And then you guys came out of nowhere. I was like, this goes even further. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, see, what the thing was that back in those days, the gangster thing was really big back then. Gangster rap was the new phenomenon, you know, that was going down. And then Ice Cube left NWA, and that weakened them a little bit. They still had Dre, Ren, Easy, but it wasn't the same thing without Cube, you know what I mean? So that opened the door for some people that were looking for a hardcore thing, but you know, but still enjoy good music like Dr. Dre would give on the NWA things, and that was a perfect entrance for us right there.
I love the samples on all of your albums, actually. I mean, who collects them?
Muggs, DJ Muggs, he's in charge of all that stuff. For Cypress Hill, I really don't have nothing to do with the tracks. I'll get to the studio and they're already done, waiting for the vocals, you know? So all that's Muggs' department.
And it must be like, for you, difficult to adapt to this rock style now, right? I mean, you guys are rappers.
Yeah, we started doing rap first, but we were always listening to rock and roll as youngsters, you know, as teenagers and stuff like that. We were playing rock. We listened, the area that we grew up in LA, very cultural, multicultural, you know, white kids, black kids, Hispanic kids and everything. So we had a chance to listen to everything, you know what I mean? And I had been doing a rock rap project myself called SX10, which is done now. It comes out next month in the States on July 4th. And
Because there were rumors that you left Cypress Hill, definitely.
I stepped out for a minute, yeah, but I never imagined it being forever. You know what I mean? And then while I was away from Cypress, you know, doing other music, I was the only writer, the only vocalist in that other band, so it helped me get better at what I do. You know, and then when I came back to Cypress, they were all impressed with my lyrical ability, you know, and my professionalism in the studio. So if you ask Muggs now, he'll say that's the best thing that ever happened to the group. You know what I mean? So I stepped out for a minute. I was doing that, and then a bunch of contract shit happened with myself and Sony Music and all kind of shit. And then eventually I got released by them, and I started my own record company called Latin Thug Records, right here. And my band SX10 is gonna be the first release on it, and then my brother Mellow Mayonnaise is also gonna drop his new album on Latin Thug Records too.
I think that's cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm just trying to. I got tired of playing ball with the big corporations, the big businesses, the big record companies. I just got tired of them liking you one day and the next day they don't like you no more. Or
is that really the way it goes? I mean, first time you sell like 2 or 3 million records and go like, oh, you're God, and next time they go like, well, this record is a bit weird. Or...
Well, with me, I know that they weren't ready to hear me do anything but Cypress Hill. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like disappointing to me because I thought that I had, you know, sold a good amount of records for this particular company so that they might, you know, put me on in a different light. But they weren't sure, you know, they weren't sure what I was going to do with my career, with my life, if I was even going to continue, you know, having a passion for doing music. And, you know, and just dealing with them and then getting released from them. And then I was signed with Flip Records for a while. And we just didn't get along well at Flip Records. We couldn't agree on a producer for the album or anything. So I basically asked Flip Records to release me. You know, it had been almost 2 years that I had been there and nothing had came out. So they were cool about it. You know, they had Limp Bizkit and stuff, and they knew that was going to be huge. So they were like, cool. And I met this new manager. Cat's name is Kevin Zinger. And Kevin, he had all these badass ideas for me, man. You know, like my own label where I run the shit and, you know, I make the calls and everything. And I liked those ideas, man. I really did. So we just went about to getting some backup from an indie label. And then going in there and starting the whole Latin Thug thing, and that's where we're at now.
Why the name Latin Thug?
Because Latin's what I am, and thugging is what I do, you know what I mean? It just seems to go natural, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to do like Sen Dog records or Cypress record or nothing like that. I just wanted to do something different, something totally brand new that have the kids out there checking for. And so far, it's going good too. I have a clothing company also called Latin Thug. And we're moving a lot of stuff right now in the United States.
Where can I buy it? Can I buy it on the internet? Because I mean, you can buy it when you live in Tilburg, right?
The Latin Thug record.
No, your clothing. It looks killer.
Yeah, we just got our website up, LatinThugwear.com, and you go online there and order whatever you want. We got football jerseys, basketball, baseball, shorts. You know, we make stuff for girls. So I'm just trying to develop another company for myself. So that I could have something to fall back on, you know, and say one day people don't want to hear Sen Dog no more, don't want to hear, you know, Cypress Hill or whatever. If that ever happens or whatever the case may be, you know, have another business set up that'll, you know, generate money, you know what I mean?
Where did you get the idea? Looking at the Beastie Boys or Russell Simmons?
Definitely, man. The cats that I look up to now put themselves out. Like Ice-T puts his own records out. Dr. Dre puts his own records out. Beastie Boys put themselves out. You know what I mean? And I was talking with Ice-T once, and he basically broke it down like this to me. He said, this game of the entertainment business is basically pimps and hoes. The record companies are the pimps, and the entertainers are the hoes. You know what I mean? So why not just go ahead and pimp yourself? Instead of having somebody pimp you, pimp yourself and make all that money yourself.